It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Well, we started way back in September with 16 middle schools. We're now down to the final 4. Yes, welcome to the first of the 2 semifinal games as we head toward this year's championship in this our 34th year of competition here in Prince George's schools. 2 great teams joining us today in this first semifinal game. Let's meet them right now. First, from Martin Luther King Middle School, would you please say hello to Martin McCall, Trevor Bateman, and Sabrina Pillai. And from Thomas Johnson Middle School, welcome to the program, please, Sarah Aminu, Aisha Dramé, and Hilaria Berignou. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the question. Easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points, tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. We make no deductions for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, we will have the first of our 2 finalists as we head toward the ultimate game here in this year's competition. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the Martin Luther King team. Trevor, would you try your buzzer? Looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, to Trevor, and to Sabrina, and to Martin. And Aisha, how about the green teams? All right, she's got a good confident push over there. She's ready, and I know Hilaria and Sarah are as well. And as I told these young people before, it takes a lot of courage to do what they are doing. They have acquitted themselves so well all year long, and they are the best of the best, and I know we're going to have a great game. We go alphabetically, M before T, so Martin Luther King and Trevor, let's play the bowl.
Let's get physical for 15.
Physical for 15 points. Teams, the air that we breathe is colorless and tasteless and invisible, and it is made up of these. Aisha.
Nitrogen?
Not quite, not quite. Martin Luther King. Aisha jumped the gun there. This colorless, tasteless, odorless air that we breathe is made up mostly of what? 2 gases.
Nitrogen, oxygen.
Yes, sir. You need not push the buzzer.
Okay, Sabrina.
Sabrina?
Nitrogen and oxygen.
That's it, nitrogen and oxygen. Exactly. You got the one right there, Aisha, not the other one. Go red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, the drug heparin, which is an anti-clotting blood thinner, is made in 2 organs, the lungs and this hepatic. Martin Luther King.
The spleen?
Not the spleen. Thomas Johnson, heparin is a drug, an anti-clotting drug that is made in 2 organs, the lungs and this hepatic organ.
Liver?
Liver, yes ma'am. Good answer. Go. Green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, this is a political year, and there are lots of animals out there. The Democrats are the donkeys, the Republicans are the elephants. Trevor?
Red and blue.
No, you jumped the gun. All right, we've got elephants as Republicans, we've got donkeys as Democrats, we've got dark horses, candidates that come from nowhere and succeed. And if you are a politician and you can't run again, you are a lame what?
Mule?
Duck. You are a lame duck. Go green. Go Aisha.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, termites depend on bacteria in their gut in order to digest this carbohydrate. Martin Luther King.
Cellulose.
Cellulose, that's right. That's in the wood. That's what the termites want. And they can't digest it on their own. They depend on those symbiotic bacteria. All right, 80 to 65, advantage red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. All right, teams, your question is as follows. You know, when the Challenger space shuttle exploded, President Reagan said poetically, they tried to touch the face of God after breaking the surly bonds of Earth. To break free of gravity, a spaceship needs a certain, Trevor?
Escape velocity.
Escape velocity, that's what I want to hear. Good, go.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio. This purple flower has what same name as a girl's name? Martin Luther King.
Pastor Martin.
Martin?
An iris.
Yes, it is an iris. Absolutely right. I was going to say it's a girl's name. It is also the name of the colored part of your eye. Red.
Potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, Maltese is a dog. Maltase is an enzyme. Maltose is one of these. Martin Luther King?
Sugar.
It's a sugar, yeah. All sugars end in OSE. And Aisha, she knew that. She was pushing, but they jumped in faster. Again, red.
Dateline for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, this man had a funny name, Ignaz Semmelweis. But he was the first man to say that this procedure is the best thing you can do to prevent colds, flu, and coronavirus. Aisha.
Vaccines.
Not vaccine. Martin Luther King. This man, Ignaz Semmelweis, the first one to say that this is the best procedure for preventing colds, flus, and coronavirus.
Washing your hands.
Washing your hands, yes indeed. He was a surgeon, because if you can believe it, at one time, surgeons did not wash hands. That was the reason why President Garfield died. They tried to retrieve the bullet. He had been shot, and they kept reinfecting him. All right, Red, you're on a roll. Go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Physical for 25. Big one in that category is a visual. Look back at the monitor, please. Astronomers looked at this mass of cloud and dust.
Nebula.
It is a nebula. You need those 25 points. That is the Spider and Fly Nebula. Go, Aisha.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, the thicker and shorter of your two forearm bones has what same name as the straight line?
Radius.
Yeah, the radius, the distance from the center of the circle to the circumference. Yes, green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems, the 20-point question. Teams, it used to be staying alive. Now, first aid instructors say, sing Baby Shark to get the right cadence. Trevor?
For CPR.
For CPR, that's right. Baby Shark, Baby Shark, yeah. All right, the buzzer says we've come to the end of the first round. Boy, is this a good game, just as we expected. Our score right now is Martin Luther King 170, Thomas Johnson 100. We'll be back with round two in just one moment. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Good game here today, the first of two semifinal matches. And during the break, a lot of the players here today took that opportunity to relax just a little bit because it's very high anxiety time here. You know, today's winner will be moving on as the first of two finalists, competing eventually for a medal. We have for today's ultimate champion a gold medal, as you can see here. The runner-up today will get a silver medal, and our two second-place teams, today's second-place team, this game's, and also the second, will be taking home a bronze medal. And the ultimate winner has a wonderful plaque that they can take back to their school to proclaim that they are this year's 2019-20 Science Bowl champion for the middle school. Boy, these young people here, many of them you've seen before. We've watched them grow up here. Some of them have been here since elementary school. Let's find out a little bit more about them and their schools. Martin Luther King. Trevor, first of all, could you just tell us who's your principal?
Our principal is Rotunda Floyd Cooper.
Absolutely, and she's a big fan of this game and big fans of you guys here. Any alternates on your team?
We have Kevin and Kalima.
They'll be out in a few moments' time here. And something special about Martin Luther King that you want everybody to know. I know you have something you want to read. Yeah. Do whatever you want to do.
So Martin Luther King is a great place for young students. We have many clubs and programs to provide an enhanced curriculum. We offer 2 multilingual programs, which are Spanish and Chinese, 5 creative arts programs, which are band, orchestra, chorus, dance, and art. These align with students' interests, and our teachers encourage students to fulfill their goals. We also have a diverse learning environment, which allows students to learn about other cultures and people.
Well, if that doesn't make people want to go to Martin Luther King, nothing will. It sounds like a wonderful place to be. And Trevor, thanks for taking time to. Did you write that yourself?
Yep.
We
wrote it as a team.
You did a very nice job. Who's the coach of your team?
Miss Butler.
Miss Butler. She has been with us. Miss Butler, thank you for all the many years you have been with us here. And Martin Luther King is one of the winningest schools in our competition, and a lot of that is due to you. Trevor, tell us about yourself. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a microbiologist that specializes in paleontology.
Very good. That's very specific, yeah? When did you come to that realization?
Through the Jurassic Park movies.
You know, I think one of the latest ones, Jurassic World, that was one of my favorites. Somehow they just did it right. The other ones were a little dark. Nice to have you here. You're a good captain. And you were here in elementary school.
Yes.
At Bond Mill, correct? And your buddy here, Martin, you were at Bond Mill as well.
Yes.
And you've been on this show multiple times. You're a very composed young man over there. I know you like to hike. Appalachian Trail. And what else do you like to do in your spare time?
I also do this new thing called Lego robotics.
Ah, cool. And is there a competition for that? I imagine there is.
Yes, we've already competed. We didn't end up winning, but we still did very well. We fought. It was this thing where you had to make this robot go around on this table and complete challenges.
Wow. Well, that took a lot of talent and cooperation. And are you involved in Destination Imagination, Martin?
Yes.
Yes, and I was going to say, Sabrina also. Aren't you in DI? Yeah. Martin, what did you want to tell me?
All our teams this year ended up winning first place and moving on to the state competition for DI this year.
I have no doubt you're going to do us proud because you guys are so good. And Sabrina, tell us about your DI project. What did you guys do?
Well, this year we have different challenges, but Trevor and I were on the same team. We competed in a scientific challenge, so we had to research about a species and how it morphs into different habitats.
Fairly talented young lady. You want to be a chemical engineer someday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you play such a good game here. How do you know so much science, Sabrina?
I like to study, and Miss Butler's been a really good coach to us, so I learned a lot from her.
This is a good fit for you. You do so well in this format. Nice to have you back. Thomas Johnson, never ever have you made it this far in the competition. And Aisha, you seem to be the driving force over there. How did you get ready for this?
Well, I prepared through watching a lot of videos on YouTube about Science Bowl, and I also just watched a lot of documentaries.
Yeah. Well, you're a quick study, I can tell that. Who's the principal at Thomas Johnson?
Mr. Darrell Owens.
Wonderful. I know he is very proud of you guys. Does everybody at Thomas Johnson know you guys are here today?
Not everyone, but most of my friends do.
The ones who count, right? The ones who count. Absolutely right. Any alternates on your team?
We have Lucy.
We'll be out in just a few moments' time here. And tell me something special about your school.
Something unique about Thomas Johnson is that we have a lot of extracurricular activities after school, which include athletic, academic, and musical opportunities. We also have a lot of STEM programs, which include Math Club, Science Bowl, Destination Imagination, and MISA. So there's never a time where a student can never say they have nothing to participate in because it's just a very inclusive school.
There should be a debate team over there because you'd be great on that. You've got the gift of the gab. You are so well spoken. I should thank you so much. And before I leave you, two more things. Who is the wonderful coach of your team?
Miss Yabez and Miss Raella.
Oh, the both of them, right? And they will be out in just a few moments' time here. And what do you want to do someday?
I have 4 optional professions: osteology, oncology, hematology, and
another ology is in there somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, pulmonology.
Thank you. I knew you'd get that. Yeah, you're such a good player here today. Hilaria, nice to have you on the show. This is your first appearance, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and you're an 8th grader.
Yes,
and nice to have you here. Tell us the Hilaria story. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to practice my piano and my viola.
Wonderful. And you like a show called Dr. Pimple Popper, is that right?
Yes, I do.
As we were saying before, you can't not watch when you turn it on. It's just something about it. It's just something about it. What do you want to do professionally?
I want to become an orthopedic surgeon.
Well, so we've got a couple potential doctors over there.
Yes.
Sarah, what do you hope to do?
I want to be an anesthesiologist when I grow up.
And why so?
One day I was at summer camp and we were just discussing what we wanted to be when we grow up. And then my teacher, she said an anesthesiologist is a great job. You give anesthetics to patients, and I just got into it after that.
It is a good paying job, but you know, you've got people's lives in your hands, you know, because you got to keep them alive during surgery there. And you're a 6th grader, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we'll see you for a couple more years here on the show. What do you like about the program, Sarah? Why'd you do this?
When I was little, I really liked science, and I just wanted to get more into it. Because if anesthesiology doesn't work out, then I could become a scientist or something.
Yeah. Well, you are into it. And, you know, this always challenge yourself in life. And you're challenging yourselves by coming on here, listening to this guy up here throw stuff at you, and you're making sense of most of it. So it's very gratifying. And good luck to all of you. Let's get back to the game. 100 for Thomas Johnson, 170 for Martin Luther King. Lots of points still available up there. And Trevor, last correct answer. So would you start, please?
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Teams, if you take one of your eyelashes or one of your eyebrows and put it on a slide under a microscope, be prepared to be shocked because some of these Martin Luther King. What you got? Let me finish the question for Thomas Johnson. An eyelash or an eyebrow, look at it under a microscope. You might be shocked because what kind of M-initialed ectoparasites might be crawling all over those? Mites. Mites. M-I-T-E-S. Go again, red. Trevor, you okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, this is an interesting question. Listen carefully here. Don't jump at it too soon. Two-part answer. Marine mammals, like orcas and whales and dolphins, when they give birth, they do it by breech. It's a breech birth, which means what part of the new baby comes out first, and why does it do it that way?
The feet.
Thomas Johnson.
The feet.
Okay.
It comes out first because that's how it developed in the amniotic sac.
Yeah, you know all the right terms there. Remember, now these are marine mammals. All right? Martin Luther King, what part of the calf comes out first and why?
The tail comes out first because it needs to grow a strong tail so it can swim.
No, you got the first part right. The tail comes out first, but if the head came out first, the possibility would be that it would drown before it could come up and take its first breath. So the tail is out. As soon as that head comes out, up it goes. Tough question. You did a nice job trying there. Go red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for?
20.
20 points. Teams, Ponce de Leon, who looked for the fountain of youth, said, the wind is not nearly as strong as this warm river of, yes, Aisha.
The Gulf Current.
The Gulf Current or the Gulf Stream? Yes, ma'am. Good. Go.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points, rather. Teams, the only planet in our solar system where the sun rises in the west and sets in the east is this planet. Martin Luther King. This is let's get physical for 10 points.
Uranus?
Not Uranus, no. Again, the only planet in the solar system where the sun rises in the west and sets in the east.
Mercury?
Venus. Venus, because it rotates backwards on its axis, a retrograde orbit. Excuse me, go green.
Green things for 10.
Green things, 10 points. Teams, in the movie Guardians of the Galaxy, the character known as Groot answered to an arbor master because...
He was a tree.
He was a tree, exactly right. Good, go.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Teams, in Alice in Wonderland, a caterpillar said to Alice, "Who are you?" The caterpillar is what stage?
The larval stage.
It is the larval stage in a butterfly's metamorphosis. Yes, ma'am, go.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10?
Yes.
The question is as follows. Teams, if something is water repellent, it is hydrophobic.
Hydrophilic.
Hydrophilic is the opposite. Yes, ma'am, go.
Dayline science for 10.
Dayline for 10 points. Teams, the quarterback, Tom Brady, and his wife have come up with hashtag Stop Sucking, part of a campaign to reduce single use. Martin Luther King?
Straws.
More information, please.
Plastic straws.
Plastic straws, yes, indeed. Go. Red.
Green things for 25.
Green things, 25. Big one in that category, teams. Listen carefully. Inside of the hemoglobin molecule in your red blood cells, the center of it is an iron atom. Two-part question. what photopigment that we find in green leaves is similar? Martin Luther King?
Chlorophyll, because it traps sunlight and the hemoglobin traps oxygen.
Everything you said was true, but what I am after, the second part of the answer, Thomas Johnson, is the iron in the center of the hemoglobin molecule is replaced by Mg, an element inside of that other molecule. Give me both.
Wait,
Give
what?
me the
Chlorophyll
name
and
of the molecule and then the name of the chemical element represented by the symbol Mg.
chlorophyll and magnesium.
That's what I want. Good. Go. Green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, plants really don't know much math. And they certainly don't know that 3 is this of 9. 4 is
Square root.
a square root. That's right. They don't know square roots. Go red.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline science for 20 points. Score update. Martin Luther King 185, Thomas Johnson 175. This is Dateline for 20 points. Teams, President Trump recently said that, like Thomas Edison, this man is one of America's great geniuses. Martin Luther King?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, absolutely right. You didn't even need that clue I was about to give of a Tesla and also someone who's sending people into space. Go.
Dateline science for 25.
For 25 points. Teams, this famed mathematician was responsible for figuring the trajectory of John Glenn.
Katherine Johnson.
Katherine Johnson, who just died at age 101. Yes, ma'am, good, go.
Um,
You were waiting for that one.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. All right, teams, 2 parts. You have to answer the question, and then spell it. Someone suffering from frostbite is often given ibuprofen, which helps to relieve pain and cut down on the swelling. What do you want to tell me, Martin Luther King? 2-part. Answer it and spell it.
Hypothermia.
No. Thomas Johnson, listen carefully. Again, ibuprofen given to someone suffering from frostbite helps to relieve the pain and it causes the swelling to go down. What I-initial term describes that swelling, and spell it?
Incubation?
Inflammation. Inflammation was the right answer there. All right, 200 to 205. It is still a nail biter. Go green.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, sometimes birds look like they're drunk because they have eaten berries where the sugar inside the berry with the yeast ferments, exactly, that produces alcohol. Good, go, red.
Let's get physical for 5.
Physical for 5 points. Teams, I love the way that the world rotates. It just makes my
Day go by. Or world go around.
Yeah? We're going to give it to you. It makes my day. You got that in there. Good. Go, red.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, in the movie Frozen in Arendelle, the weird little Duke always was upset because they kept mispronouncing his name like this. W initialed.
Weasel?
That?
Weasel?
Again?
Weasel?
Weasel, that's right. He was the Duke of Wesselton, and they kept saying the Weaselton. Thank you, Hilaria. Go.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, you know, when you get older or when you have certain diseases, your body starts to sag. Your cheeks get sunken.
Stroke?
What's that?
Stroke?
Not stroke, no. Martin Luther King, sunken cheeks, drooping eyelids. And when you get older, fallen what?
Teeth.
Arches. Fallen arches. You're too young to know that. Go green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, blue jeans they do not get their dye from blue dye. It comes from this I initialed.
Indigo.
Indigo, yes. Last question of the game. Dateline for 5 points is as follows. Because the Earth revolves around the sun in 365 days, 5 hours, and 46 minutes. Every 4 years, we need to add one of these.
A leap day.
Yes, a leap day it is. And with that, we've come to the end of the game. Give everyone a round of applause. Super, super game. We'll authenticate that score and be back with you in just one moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. What a semifinal game this was. We knew it would be close, and it was. What wonderful kids we have here today. Terrific sportsmen and great scientists. Our final tally today is Thomas Johnson 210, Martin Luther King 240. Congratulations to Martin and Trevor and Sabrina. The coaches back there too, Miss Butler and Kalima and Kevin. Congratulations. You are headed to the finals. Maybe a 6th county championship. And let's have a round of applause again for Thomas Johnson. What a great team. Sarah and Aisha and Hilaria. Sarah, we're going to see you next year. You're going to win this thing next year. And Miss Rayella is back there, Miss Yabes, and also Lucy is back there, the alternate on the team. We have bronze medals for all 4 of you young people here. As our thanks and as tributes for doing so well on Science Bowl this year. And we want to hope you'll be back with us next time for the second of our semifinal matches and then for the finale. Until then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye, everybody.